and STOL fans around the world, Live Air Show TV is here at Gainesville, Texas, to bring you the first Lonestar STOL competition and fly-in. This is all where it's going to happen, right here in front of the crowd. These chalk marks every 3 feet are going to make the difference between those who have flown over 1,500 miles and go home a winner and those who go home a loser. It is going to be pinned on the winds, the weather, the wet runway surface as to who can land right here on this line, closest on each of their landings. Get the shortest takeoff into this 10 to 12 mile an hour right quartering crosswind, and we will see who is going to be our first champions here at Lonestar STOL in Gainesville, Texas. Let's go have some fun, boys and girls. And now I want to bring up the man that has made this whole thing possible for us. Doug Jackson and his incredible staff. 1 year ago, sir, you came up with a great idea that you wanted to put on this event. What were you thinking?
We actually came up with this December the 30th of this year, so we're about 2 months into this thing, and I can't even begin to tell you how proud I am of all these volunteers and everyone. It's amazing what we've put together here.
Well, we had the potential to have up to 80 performers here at the very first STOL competition, and I think that may be a record for a first-year event. The weather's made it a little challenging for some of them to get here. We're still going to see some incredible pilots and machines here. And tell us about some of the great supporters that we've got making this a reality.
Well, first of all, we've got Aviat, Husky. They came in as our title sponsor. They've been amazing. Just couldn't do enough to help us. Anything we needed. We've got Ladd Gardner. This whole STOL event's been presented by Ladd. Wonderful guy. Again, just what can I do for you? You know, everyone's just been amazing to help.
Well, and I know what Ladd Gardner can do for us. He can provide the best aviation insurance for us STOL pilots out here as well. And I know we got a lot of other great supporters out here from the Fat Tire Cowboys, Alaska Airframes, Alaska. We got the banners back here with everybody else. Of course, Garmin. A good day to have some Garmin avionics in your airplane to help you get in here and see the show. It's still looking better. We've got more prize money. You know, and just like a champion at a rodeo here in the great state of Texas, why don't you tell us what our champions here at Lonestar STOL are going to take home?
So our good friend David Isham from NRS World has donated trophy belt buckles. So the winner of each class gets a huge belt buckle. It's best Texas theme we could think of, and so we're very proud of him, and he's going to be one of our competitors also. So,
well, I've got my belt, I've got the outfit. I think it'd look pretty good right here. Maybe I don't know if those first 2 passes I flew earlier today are going to be good enough, but maybe I'll get a third one in here as well. So, Doug, thank you for all your efforts and everything to bring the very first Lonestar STOL competition here to Gainesville. It is going to be a great day. All right, so let's lay down why we do this. Let's lay down how we do this. First of all, you talked about all the great sponsors and the support. Here, lined along the landing area are the targets. Oh, I mean the judges. Yes, the judges. Those high-vis orange and yellow vest here. These are the men and women who are going to be looking down at these chalk marks. 3 feet initially coming down here. The cone's giving us additional markers. There's our 100-foot flag. 150, 250 out the end. How are we going to do it? Well, the pilots have to be able to max perform their airplane. They're going to compete in 5 different categories. We see the first of them starting to taxi up here. These are our heavy touring categories, our Cessna 180s, our 185s, our big malls. They're going to be out here carrying the most weight, the fastest approach speeds. You'll see the longest distance for takeoffs and landings, but when you realize how big this airplane is, an airplane that can carry up to 3,200 pounds of cargo in the bush, that equates to a couple moose, several hunters, and a lot of other important things. They are going to be taking off here today probably in less than 220 feet. The winds coming into land, we flew a little earlier, our first 2 passes, they are a little challenging, that is for sure. It was gusty winds. If you've been able to see the video of me from inside my 170, I was having to work it. A lot of rudder, a lot of power adjustments. We had several guys and gals land earlier, what we call a scratch on the line. If you touch down even 1 inch before that line, your score is a DQ. It does not count. But you don't want to go carry too far past. If I give up 20 feet of landing distance because I landed 20 feet past the line, I still have to get my airplane stopped, and that is not always an easy thing, especially as you look at this landing area. We got standing water, we got puddling water, we got a crosswind. Headwind is good. Crosswind makes it even more challenging, and that is what these pilots are going to be facing here today at Gainesville in the Lonestar STOL competition. All right, I'm going to get out of the way because I don't know exactly how quickly they are going to pull up. All right, now we're set. Looks good? Looks good? There we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, look at this weather. It's been a tough day. The good thing is the rain has quit and I'm starting to dry out, and that's a really nice thing here. Air Boss is telling me we got just a few more minutes. We're getting a little bit of weather check here as the clouds continue to push through, but I like the fact that the wind is coming from the east now. That should be drying us out, helping keep the stuff that we've got out to the west knocked down. You know, some of our other great sponsors that we have out here, Airframes Alaska, and I don't care if you're flying a certified Cessna airplane, the latest in the backcountry experimental STOL, Airframes Alaska has something for you out there. Whether it's the slotted performance flaps, better brakes, tires, wheels. You'll see a lot of the airplanes out here running the medium and the big Alaska bush wheels. You put 5 pounds of pressure in that Alaska bush wheel, you can roll it over 6, 8, 10, 12-inch rocks. I'm looking to get a set upgraded on my 170 here soon, real soon, hopefully. But they absolutely great. Acme, you know, if you want it safer, stronger, lighter, Acme shocks are bringing in some great products into especially the experimental, and they're starting to break into the certified categories as well. One of the things in STOL competition you're going to see guys do, and gals, a lot of these landings are a little firmer than what you typically would be aiming for if you were just coming in and landing on a traditional runway. Remember, it's all about this line. We've got to hit right on that line. So they're going to be coming in behind the power curve, what we say. They're going to be carrying power to keep the airplane airborne. And when they get to right before that line, they're going to be reducing the angle of attack by forward stick, taking the power off the airplane, and that's going to make it quit flying. The winds being gusty make it a little tougher to fly right that 1 to 2 mile an hour above stall speed that is critical for a perfect landing. Today it's going to be a little tougher. In the first 2 rounds, we saw about half the performers scratch. What's that mean? Remember, if I land before the line, I get a DQ, it doesn't count. And that's what they're going to be fighting for today. That's going to be the big challenge. But those firmer landings, the Alaska bush wheels, the Acme shocks, all those things help protect the airframe. They absorb the energy in these landings. Once the airplane hits the ground, it's pinned to the ground, it stays to the ground. What does that mean? It means the pilot can then pick up the tail to reduce the angle of attack. That takes the lift away. That makes the tires have as much contact on the ground as possible. Get onto those brakes as hard as you can. Get the flaps off. It's all about transferring the weight of the airplane onto those 2 tires and getting on the brakes as hard as you can. But you got to be careful. You brake too hard, the tail starts to come up too high, you can get yourself scared looking at a bunch of pavement. Here comes our first of our performers now. This is our heavy touring class. Our first here is a nice 180. All righty. What they're going to be doing now, you'll notice that he's going to get his airplane perfectly configured. He wants to maximize the takeoff. What does that mean? He stops exactly on the line watching the primary judge. He's making sure that his flaps are set in an appropriate setting. He's going to get the trim set. He's going to make sure that the flight controls are free and career. The mixture is maximized. We're not going full rich here, boys. We're going to get this engine wound up. Let's get ready to go. Oh, early liftoff. You notice he skipped back down, touched the ground. It's that second touch that'll be the final. Here comes our 185. This is the big boy. 285 horse, 3,200 pound capable airplane. Fat Tire Cowboys. Okay, you notice he took a lot longer roll right there. That was a conservative one. I think he was trying to get one in the books. He was wanting to make sure that one counted. Now, we got a tricycle gear airplane here. A little bit of an advantage in a lot of ways. VG, sportsman cuffs. Nice aggressive rotation, that airplane becomes airborne instantly. Wind blowing all the hats off today. Here's the leader of our Fat Tire Cowboys, La Rosa, out of Lubbock, Texas. Let's see what the farmer rancher does. All right, you'll notice a little bit of a mistake there. That tail wheel came down, the airplane didn't come off the ground, even though he added full flaps into the mix. What that tells us is that was a little early on the rotation. An hour ago when they were flying, they had a headwind. There's no airspeed indicator, there's no reference to look inside. It's all feeling, it's experience to figure out when that airplane's ready to fly. La Rosa thought it was gonna fly a little bit earlier, but when we look at those Husky flags, it's a crosswind. Now that one there looked a lot better. Now we look back to the landing zone. Matt Shantz is coming in with his 180. He spends his daytimes earning his living and flying Super Cubs towing gliders at the Air Force Academy out of Centennial, Colorado. Let's see what he can do for this landing. Now he's going to slow the airplane up as slow as he can keep it in the air. Add just a little bit of power, what we call behind the power curve, to reduce the stall speed even further. But it's a fine line. You get too slow, you won't have enough power. He's looking for this line precisely. Looks like a pretty stable approach. How does it do? Oh, and it's a scratch. 10 feet short. He's going to kick himself for that one, no doubt. Okay, as I look back in the pattern, we've got airplane number 4, number 3. Here comes number 2 around the corner. So right now, we've got 2 practice rounds earlier. They're in the books for people that count. We had several scratches then. The winds look a little more stable than they were earlier, but I think it's still a little challenging for the pilots. Coming in a little bit higher, this gives him a bit better ability to see the landing zone or that target line. Also, coming in a little higher has a little more potential energy, altitude to lose, swapping off the altitude for the airspeed. Oh, and again, just a little bit short. Now you sit here and you go, really? 2 in a row? These are some of the best pilots out there. And when you've got challenging conditions and the stress or the pressure of competition on you, it can be tough. Okay. Whew. Are we having fun, folks? This is good. This is good. If you have friends that aren't here, tell them to get to Live Airshow TV or on Facebook or YouTube for it. Oh, Dan Gilbert, the 182, a little short as well. Now you'll notice he didn't even try to get stopped. Why? He knew it was a no counter. There's no reason to wear out the brakes, wear out the tires and everything else. We need somebody to fly a little more conservative and make sure they get themselves a good touchdown. Of course, they don't know what the other people have done. They don't hear and see what we get to hear and see. So there's some gamesmanship in this. And going and landing on a sandbar or going and landing out on a field somewhere is different than competing. I'll tell you, I do a lot of both, and it is always tougher when you're competing. It's like how many have flown into a fly-in and landed in front of 1,000 people, or flown into Oshkosh and went, oh, please let me hit the orange dot and not bounce it. This approach is looking nice and stable though. They have been catching a sinker early about right through here, and it looks like it's looking good. La Rosa's got this one nailed, maybe? Yes, that was almost perfect. Up on the tail, maximize the braking. Woo! Hold it, let's get a measurement, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise. That's a winner right there. That man wants a new belt buckle. Now, how many of you out there enjoy watching videos, you know, those online, and those here in the crowd enjoy watching flying videos on YouTube? There's a lot of the great performers here. Of course, the Fat Tire Cowboys have got their stuff out there. Keystone Fridays are always a great one to bring up. All right, here's another 180, a little smaller of the tires, 8.5s, but that will actually help him with these wet landing conditions, but I think it's gonna touch down early, and it does. Oh, just by a hair. Really flat approach, almost had enough speed, but just not quite enough. But they can see you out the end, give them a wave, and let them know you appreciate them coming out here and flying for them anyways, folks. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lonestar STOL competition at Gainesville, Texas. William Gilstrap just departed with his Cessna 182 with a big P-Punk 520 motor. This is the second round of our heavy touring competitors. We saw a pretty tight round in the first one, but unfortunately about half of them scratched. La Rosa, he nailed it with his landing here. He's getting ready to part with that beautiful black, silver, and white Fat Tire Cowboy 185. Let's see if he can deliver even a better second round. Pretty long takeoff, but he had a great landing. So remember, it's the best of the combined takeoff and landing, and it has to be on the same pass. Here is our last one, our 180 Dan Mickey out of New Mexico. Good looking airplane, polished up, a little bit of maroon burgundy trim. Sporting the Horton STOL, popping those flaps, getting airborne at a pretty nice early point. Now let's bring it back in. Our Colorado boy, Matt, he knows he was short on the first one. Let's see what he can do here. This might be his last chance here in the great state of Texas to take home that buckle. Gonna bleed off this speed. You can tell he's carrying a little more speed, doesn't want to drop it short, make it a counter. Oh, this is looking good. Floats it a little bit, about 30 feet, up on the brakes. Oh, that tough braking condition. This is where actually having the smaller tires gives you a little better braking efficiency than the 185. Oh, what a good looking airplane. What a stable approach. Drifting a little bit, fighting that crosswind. Come on, Carrie. Let's keep that buckle in Texas. Pulls the power, drops it in. A little bit long, but it's a counter. That's what he needed. Up aggressively on the brakes, right on center line to a stop. They mark it. That's looking pretty good because he had a nice takeoff. So I think he's going to be happy with that at the end of the day. The nice thing about the tricycle gear with the 182 is once he lands, he can pretty much mash on the brakes as hard as he wants, right up until the point that he doesn't want to skid the tires. If you skid those tires, the braking coefficient goes down, the airplane will not stop as quickly. Now, there's no anti-lock brakes on these airplanes. It is all by feel. It is all by finesse. But watch, he'll dump the flaps off as soon as he lands to increase the weight on the wheels. His last one was a scratch and he knew it. This one's looking stable, looking nice. Come on, come on, come on. Chops the power, good touchdown. Up hard on the brakes, fighting the crosswind, cameraman ducks. Woo! Oh, that was a tough one. It looks like that left brake was or the right brake was maybe starting to fade a little bit as well. He's got about 300 feet to go. Dancing on the rudder pedals. Power, you can hear it adjusting. Coming off, coming off, coming off, settle, settle, flare. Oh, just short. Just short. But he had a good one. He had a good one in the book, so he could give it all. He could take a chance on that one. It's just not quite going to pay off. Hopefully he's got some nice Airframes Alaska brakes on this airplane, because those are sweet. Lightweight, strong, powerful. Get on it. Get on it. Get that tail up. Get her stop. Get her stop. Get her stop. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Lonestar STOL brought to you by Aviat, Husky, and Ladd Gardner Insurance. Our heavy touring guys are done. We're going to make our way quickly across the strip here, get on the other side for the next round. Well, everybody, Live Air Show TV and Lonestar STOL. Woo! We're back for the final round. This is it. This is where everything's going to be settled. This is where that gold buckle is going to be awarded based on this line right here. Oh, we're going to get up close. We're going to get a good view. This 180's roaring. We're going to hang on to the hat. That was a good one. That was a good one. Well, I hope everybody had fun. So as our heavy touring guys get airborne, oh, now that is maximizing the AOA. He actually hit the tail tie-down ring. But that 182 was airborne exactly when he asked. Mr. LaRose are going to set it with the 185. What a beautiful machine. The lead of our Fat Tire Cowboys, the sponsor of one of our great gift packages for our winners here, Lubbock, Texas native. To bring over here our primary sponsors, Aviat Husky. You know, I fly a Cessna 170 now. It's a great classic airplane, but I will admit, I got my initial tail wheel training in a Husky, and I actually helped the Husky set a world distance speed record on floats as well, but it wasn't a very critical part of the job. I was the one that got to do all the cleaning, waxing, and polishing. All right, the last of our heavy touring, Mr. Mackey, New Mexico.
Well, my name's Earl Polenz. I'm with the factory in Afton, Wyoming, where we build the world's greatest bush plane in Afton, Wyoming, USA. I'm here with Todd, our Alaskan representative. I'd like to thank for everybody inviting a Husky to participate. We're happy to be here and be the sponsor of the event. I'm representing Stu Horn, our owner and CEO, Steve Anderson, our president of our company. Luckily, they're back home working in Wyoming. Todd and I get to come here and have a great time flying the aircraft, working with all the great guys. And I'd like to thank Doug and Tom for putting on a great show for us and get us involved.
That was a nice touchdown as well. Up on the brakes early, utilizing that drier pavement. Nice job there. Oh yeah, Matt Shantz, our professional Super Cup pilot, 180 guy by Weekend Fun, he got it done. I kind of did the same thing. I lined it up to the right on my landing, and I used, you notice that dry patch on the right edge. I tried to use that to maximize my braking coefficient. I think that was the best of my 3 landings. I don't think it was the best of my 3 takeoffs, maybe number 2. But we'll see what the total numbers. I heard what they were, like 175, 176 in that range. So for a stock 0300, completely stock wing, 170, that's pretty dang respectable. Okay, let's see what our big boys can do for the last round. Having fun at Lonestar. Oh, that was so close that it wasn't quite close enough, though. Now, what are you 2 ladies doing sitting with an umbrella underneath the cover? You don't need an umbrella and a cover. First of all, you got hoods. Second of all, it's not even raining. Get out. Don't give me that lip. Get out here. Get up on the line. Enjoy the show. I did not come all the way from Washington to have you sit back there. Sure, Tribe 16. Yeah, great support of it, really. Fine. Fine. I want to give a special thanks to Jeff Poole for keeping my jacket warm and being the guest MC while I was out flying. I'm sure that's going to cost me some whiskey or beer tonight. All right, here's our 182. Great takeoff. Let's see if he can keep it going. Let's see if he can keep it going. Oh, it's going to be a drop down. Oh, and it was on the line. And was that good? That was good. Woo! Oh, wow, that was incredible. William Gilstrap, nice job. This is it. This is everybody's last chance to get it done. Come on, come on. Settling, flare it, flare it. Oh, little short. But he had a good one earlier, so I think he is, unofficially, I think I'm going to put La Rosa on the podium somewhere. He may get that 185 to the top spot. Whew. Having to adapt and overcome here. Some of my notes in my electronic device are starting to go away because that battery's dying. I got to get them transferred by taking pictures to another electronic device. It's been a long day. It's been a fun day here at Lonestar STOL. It is all coming down to a boil. The excitement is building up so much. I cannot believe it. He's leaning left. He's cheating left. New Mexico. Let's put it on your last one. Good. Yes. Nice. That was his best one of the day. Way to finish. What a nice, strong finish on that touchdown. Can't wait to see him afterwards and let him know.